Yeah, we're going, lads and lasses. It's Newcastle, of course, against the Mackems down at the Stadium Shite, as it is the Tyne derby, the 156th Tyne derby. And here we go into what has been literally been waited for a long time, especially on side. But us Geordies, of course, couldn't really care too much about this, as our thoughts will be on the game after this one. But let's still, play along to the little bunch down on side, and let's, of course, give them a game to remember. Let's give them, of course, a beating to remember as well. But looking at it, it's going to be a 2 o'clock kickoff down at the Stadium of Shite as Newcastle United go up against the Mackems. It's been a long time coming for this game. The last time we had a derby in the Premier League was way back in 2016. It's been a very long time. The Mackems have been out of the league for a very long time, even to a point where they were literally down in League One for about 6 years, I believe it was, which is absolutely crazy. Remember when they said that they were going to walk the championship when we, of course, went down there? And they says they would have walked it. Oh, no, they didn't. And literally, we are right here against the Mackems tomorrow, down at their shithole of a stadium, and we have to come up with something in the way of a performance. We do not want to lose this game. This is a game that we must go in with the right mentality. This is going to be a game of physicality. It's going to be a game that is going to be all about who has the stronger midfield, and thankfully for us, we have a absolutely amazing midfield. One of them is probably going to be missing from that midfield, and that is, of course, Joe Linton, as he pulled up with a groin problem in the Leverkusen game just before this one. How lucky for the Mackems on that one. But he is a doubt, so he might be fit for it. We'll have to wait and see when Eddie, of course, does his press conference and what he says in that. But I think if he's not, then it's going to be the local lads. It's going to be Wall, Louis, Miley in that centre midfield alongside the other two of Bruno and Sandro Tonali. The best midfield in the Premier League, if you look at it from anybody's point of view. Bruno is right up there. He's one of the best midfielders in the world. Sandro Tonali is an absolutely amazing signing since coming from AC Milan. Of course, he did have that little patch with the betting, but since then, it's now been plain sailing with Sandro Tonali, and he has just absolutely been amazing. Then we'll look at with defence. We've got an absolutely sensational defence. We've got Sven Botman, who should be playing, but unfortunately he's out injured. Kieran Trippier's out injured, of course, as well, who would have been part of the defence, is a backup option to Tino Livramento. But then you look at that centre-back positioning. We've got Mali Chow, absolutely amazing in that centre-back role. He hasn't put a foot wrong since, of course, coming into that centre-back role. Then, like I've just mentioned, Tino Livramento in at the right-back position. In at the left-back position, we've got Louis Hall. And then in the other centre-back position, I would expect to see Big Dan Burn on this one. And there's only one Big Dan in the northeast, and it's Big Dan Burnley. Big fucking Geordie in at centre-back to go up against the Mackems. None of this little Big Dan Ballard shit from the rear side. There's only one Big Dan, and it's Big Dan Burn. Let's get that straight right now. Looking at the forward line, it's going to probably be Anthony Gordon, with Voltamade probably in as a striker, or Wissa in as a striker. On the right wing, we're probably going to see Alanga or Murphy playing there. This is going to be a really good game. Now, like I said, heading into this preview, I didn't have a guest lined up to come on the channel, but I do have, of course, a special guest from the past to come to the channel, and of course I will be bringing that person on in due course. But let's look at, of course, what the Mackems have going into this game. Now, the Mackems have been having what a lot of people would say is a really good time in the Premier League. However, I'm not going to fall for that shit. I'm not going to fall for the Mackems have been playing well in the Premier League. That is absolute bull. The Mackems have been very fluky in the Premier League. Let's put it straight right now. The Mackems have had what is known as a Sheffield United when they came up. Brilliant in the first part of the season, but shite in the second part of the season. And look at where we're heading. Look at where we're heading. We are heading into that second part of the season, and look look at the form that, you know, the Mackems are throwing out right now, they're showing form according to the reports and the stats and everything from Jones on Sky Sports. He's saying that the Mackems, you know, are showing form of a relegation battling side, not a team that is going to be staying up in the Premier League. So where they are in the league right now is completely false, you know, if you judge it by their form. But form, of course, is completely out the window when it comes to this game, because this is a derby. This is the derby. This is the biggest derby in the world. Newcastle versus Sunderland, or Sunderland versus Newcastle, as is this case. This game. But I've got to say, I don't see the Mackems putting up much of a fight. They're probably going to have some decent chances maybe in the game. The one that you have to probably look out for the most is, as a lot of people have said, Granit Xhaka, but at the end of the day, that guy is pushing the other end of 30. So when he's going up against the likes of, you know, Louis Miley in that midfield, Sandro Tonali in that midfield, Bruno in that midfield, he's going to be finding it difficult. So far this season, he's really only had to go up against, you know, players who don't really have much pace in the midfield, don't really have much physicality in their midfield, but we've got a lot of pace. We've got a lot of physicality, and that is something that we're going to be using a lot in this game. But we don't want to be dragged into a scruff. We don't want to be dragged into a battle where we're hacking in at players, because that's something that we need to keep out of. We need to keep professional in this. We need to go into this game with the right mindset, and we need to come away from this game with a professional win against the Mackems. We need to go into this game only thinking about, of course, doing the job at hand, not about the other side act. That is what the Mackems will try to do, of course, which is causing fights in the match to deliberately try and get people yellow cards, red cards. I would not be surprised if there was a red card in this game, and to be honest, out of all the players I think who could possibly get one, or at least a yellow card in the game, is Granit Xhaka of the Mackems. I think he'll be carded before that game has been finished. But let us know your thoughts, of course, about that down in the comments below. But let's get the guest onto the channel.
Well, hello there, it's Tommy the Seagull again. Hiya guys, welcome back. Yes, thanks Mugs for having us on the channel. Oh yeah. We'll go again. Up against the Mackems. Oh, this is gonna be an enjoyable one, man. It's gonna be absolutely brilliant. We're gonna be taking them down. We're gonna be beating them Mackems as we take them all the way down. Oh, it's gonna be enjoyable. We're gonna leapfrog them. We're gonna take them, and we're gonna beat them, and we're gonna turn them inside out. Oh, I can't wait. I absolutely hate the Mackems, as you know. Let's beat these bloody Mackems. I'll hand it back to you, Mugs. See you all. Enjoy the match, everybody.
Well, there you have it, people. There's Tommy the Seagull. That's been your preview. Gives you score predictions down in the comments below. Any Mackems that are watching, let us know your thoughts as well down in the comments below. Let's get a debate going on this game. And until the next one, I'll see you for the match reaction. Hola!